everyone. So it's a little bit noisy where we are right now. Please say hello to Samu. Hi, Samu.
Hola.
So this space here, forgive me while I try and adjust the screen, everybody. It's a little bit funky. Anyway, so Samu and I are at this place that's called the Talanoa space. I'm sure you would have read from some of my series stories that Fiji is introducing the Talanoa concept in this work program that they're meant to put together to detail how all of the countries will reduce carbon emissions and thereby reduce the global temperature. I'm getting a little bit serious now. But I've invited Samu along today because Samu and Alisi Rumbukawanga, who is now Alisi Nadewa, are here as Pacific Island Represent. Yeah, Samu, tell us about that. What is Pacific Island Represent in one sentence?
Okay, Pacific Island Represent is us being the voice of the Pacific young people in our communities. That's exactly what we do, to be the voice here at Bonn.
And you know, that's really important because I think that a lot of times at these events we get into the jargon of the United Nations process and sometimes we make it harder for ourselves to explain things to the people back home. So
that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. So me and Alisi have been attending these events, trying to get what we talk about here during the COP, and upload videos and update back home to people, ordinary people out there in the Pacific and in the islands, that for them to be part of this conversation and to know what they actually talk about here during the COP, and it's not just something about people that sit in offices and stuff. It's about ordinary people like us who are affected by climate change.
And this year, that's really, really important because unlike other COPs, this COP is a very technical one because the COP presidency, which is held by our government, is required to produce some really technical tools, some actual documents about the way that the world is going to work from now onwards. So it's really important that young people like you get into this. How did you get into this?
So, well, first I started off with an NGO we helped set up in our village. It's called Kuridrani. And what we did was one of our main pillars of the NGO was climate change adaptation. So we've done a few, mangrove planting along the beach in Matakula, planted palm trees, picked up rubbish, simple things we could do in the community. And then what we wanted to do is to empower other communities to actually be involved. It's a little thing you do, and because change starts with them. We wouldn't expect, these big governments to come and tell us what to do. So we're trying to encourage other communities, to start small. And we were glad that we were recognized by Greenpeace, what we were doing. So we're given this opportunity to actually represent the Pacific, young people, to come here to Bonn, in this platform that, and be involved with what's happening here so that we can go back and tell, our people what's going on here so that they are aware of what, these people, what are they talking about here during the COP.
And there are so many young people like Samu and Alisa here, and obviously the bigger countries, the more developed countries are able to send more of their young people, and so Samu and Alisa are quite lucky that the Greenpeace people have seen it fit to help finance their trip here. And you guys did a GoFundMe, you did a public drive.
Yes, we did a GoFundMe.
So ordinary people
and
helped to fund your way here.
Fund our way. So it wasn't actually funded, by the whole Greenpeace stuff. It was actually people that donated money and wanted to help us and wanted to bring the Pacific young people to the COP.
I think that's awesome. I think that there are a lot more people now that are interested in the COP process, that are interested to find out just what is it that our governments, not just the Fijian government, but the other governments of the world, what is it that they willing? What is it that they're doing? What are they willing to do? And are they putting their money where their mouth is? And do they care about what the impact of their decisions have on people like us, on ordinary small countries like us. So anyway, so that's us today from the beautiful Talanoa space. If you check on our Fiji Times Online website, you're going to see some pictures about what the whole Talanoa space is actually like. It's actually quite amazing what the German government has done to make sure that this COP, although it's presided over by a Pacific Island country, by a small island developing states country, it still has all of the hallmarks of a huge United Nations conference. So from the Talanoa space at the Bonn zone at COP. I hope you're having a good day there in Fiji. Look out for the stories that are going to be coming out on the Fiji Times Online website later today. And remember, for a light-hearted account, this was meant to be a light-hearted account, but I think we started talking a bit serious there. So anyway, so check out the more serious stories on Fiji Times Online, which is fishtimes.com.fj. And for the light-hearted stuff, just do a search for hashtag Bonn Diaries or look at our YouTube channel for all the other stuff that we're putting up. So every day we're going to be talking to more young people like Samu, you know, strong, inspirational young people who don't want to sit around and wait for all of the decisions to be made for them, but are actually here making sure that it's not all sweet talking, that the decisions that are being made are made for the betterment of all of our futures. So anyway, hashtag COP23, hashtag COP23FJ, and hashtag COP23 Pacific Media. That's all the stuff you need to look for to find out what's happening at COP23. Mother Manda.